Tom Golisano is giving Memorial Hospital $1.5 million to help it build a new oncology center. The new facility has a total price tag of $2 million. It will be operated by Memorial and Roswell Park, offering high-level cancer care to neighbors in Niagara County.
Having Roswell here in Niagara Falls is just another example how Memorial identified a need and worked to meet that need in a very special and a very unique way.
The 6,000 square foot facility is set to open next spring. The Sloan community is honoring its veterans with a special gift. The village is donating $1,000 to the Veterans Post Restoration of Erie County. The money was raised during an event this past summer.
The community just keeps doing it and taking care of our veterans. It's such a positive thing, and we got to just keep doing it. Take care of our people that serve for us.
The money donated will go towards upgrades at veteran posts across the county.
Depression, exhaustion, burnout, stress. Those are just some of the words that people are using to describe their experiences as caregivers. Now, helping care for a family member or a loved one, it can be hard work, and people often don't talk about the emotional toll that it can take on the actual caregiver. Now the Caregiver Action Network is trying to provide help by launching a hotline specifically for caregivers. They tell us that it's not just for how to handle things like doctor's appointments, medication, or finances. They provide emotional support as well.
Caregivers themselves, go through feelings of depression or anger because this is not what you signed up for, or guilt that you're not giving a proper amount of care to your loved one.
Experts say emotional stress could also lead to physical health problems for caregivers, so it is important to seek this type of support. And another thing the Caregiver Action Network can help with is finding support groups in your area, as well as income assistance if you've had to leave work. Now, help desk experts say that they welcome all types of calls, and they've had calls where sometimes a caregiver doesn't know what type of help they need.
Sometimes you don't realize what little bit of information can really put somebody in a completely different place where they are feeling like they have hope or have a direction maybe to go that they hadn't maybe thought of on their own.
You can reach the Caregiver Help Desk by calling this number. You see it right here on your screen, 855-227-3640. You can also chat with them on caregiveraction.org, or you can email them on that same site. A proposal from the Trump administration to make hospital pricing more transparent is facing backlash. A number of groups from the hospital industry are planning a legal challenge. The new rule would require hospitals to disclose the fees for their services. This involves rates that are discussed with insurers. It is unclear exactly when the groups could head to court. All right, ahead in our lineup here on the Now, cell phone service for $40 a month. It sounds like a great deal. We're going to look into if offers like that from budget carriers are really a good option. Let's start the news feed. Disney says a coding issue is the reason that some people couldn't access their new streaming service. Disney Plus launched last week, and at first Disney said the massive demand was the reason for the issues. Well, you definitely don't want to see a crack in the glass at the zoo, especially at the bear exhibit. The Oakland Zoo says a child caused a crack in the glass that did raise some concern, but the zoo says there shouldn't be any fear that a bear will escape. Tom Hanks' newest role, of course, Mr. Rogers. A lot of people excited about this movie. The actor just found out he's actually related to Mr. Rogers. The two are sixth cousins, according to Ancestry.com. How about that? A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood debuts in theaters this week. Cell service can be really expensive, especially if you have one of the big four carriers. Now more budget phone carriers are starting to pop up with some offers monthly for services as low as $40 in some cases. So Annie Taylor's taking a look at whether these plans are actually worth it.
Chris, these low-budget carriers often promise the same quality cell service as the major phone companies, but that may not always be what you get. Many of them advertise unlimited data, minutes, and texts, but they often come with an asterisk, according to experts at Consumer Reports.
These budget carriers, a lot of them charge by the gigabyte, or, they're just basically banking on you staying on Wi-Fi. You can see your charges really add up if you use a lot of data. And if you have a family and kids who seem to never stay on Wi-Fi, that's something you really should think about.
Recently, data throttling has been an issue with other larger companies. Now, it can be even more of an issue with these budget carriers, and that's because many of them are actually just a branch of a larger company. So when the network gets busy, budget users get put at the end of the line. That means your service may completely drop off or your data could slow down. Now, these budget phone plans aren't really ideal for someone who needs to have service around the clock or uses their phone maybe for business. But if you live in a rural area, budget plans that use Wi-Fi can actually be more dependable than a traditional phone service. Sometimes the budget carriers will offer deep discounts if you sign a year contract. And consumer experts suggest that you try out the service for a month before signing.
Well, hockey players, you can now register for the Labatt Blue Pond Hockey Tournament. The winter tradition will take place Valentine's Day weekend at Buffalo River Works. The event draws hundreds of players and thousands of fans downtown each year. Registration is first come, first serve. It's going to close up once all those spots are full. Canalside in Buffalo is gearing up for a busy winter season ahead. The ice rinks officially opened up this afternoon. All the favorites are back, like curling, bumper cars, ice bikes, and open skate. But new this year, you can now rent out a private igloo.
We wanted guests to have a really cool new Instagrammable feature down at the ice at Canalside this year. We've decked them out with some comfy, cozy furnishings from Arthur's Home Furnishings. We've got a little fire pit in here as well. We want guests to be able to relax and enjoy and really take in the whole winter season.
Canalside will officially kick off the winter season with a big celebration this Friday. That actually looks pretty cool. I've never heard of half of those ice sports.
I was just going to say, I've never seen an ice bike, that tube thing.
Yeah, curling, I didn't know was like you could do. Anyway.
Yeah, it's the thing, and
but
the
it's
brooms. And
things are warming up though as they're kicking off this winter season.
I know.
Yes.
But they will cool down, definitely. I'll show you that in the 4-day.
Okay.
But we do have a nice little warm up ahead of us. Let's take a look at our temperatures. We're in the upper 30s to low 40s actually. Buffalo holding in at 40, and that's it. But they'll be going down to the 40s too. Taking a look at tonight, we're going to be in the 30s, and not only will we be in the 30s, but the southern tier is looking at the 20s for their overnight lows. Now, in first weather, I was telling you that we had a system coming and it would arrive tomorrow evening. Let's time it out for you. 7 a.m. Cloudy for us, and we're getting some breaks of sunshine in there. You'll see the clouds start to part. A lot of sunshine for western New York and Pennsylvania. That's really nice. But by noon, you're already seeing it across Lake Erie there, traveling its way into the evening. I told you it was going to hit in the evening, 5 p.m. for your drive times home. We're seeing the winds are starting to pick up out of the south and the rain making its way into the forecasts. More showers as we head to 11, starting to break down and dissipate for us. But things are going to ramp up in the winds as evidenced by Thursday. It'll be breezy. Friday, it's going to be windy, and we have a lakeshore flood watch because of those winds from Thursday evening to Friday morning. Saturday, things are going to warm up a little bit, and Sunday, things are going to cool down. But Friday, that day that we were talking about for the domes, 36, so not bad for a wintry-like day. Back to you.
Dealing with emotional issues and mental illness is a big challenge among African Americans. Anxiety and depression often go untreated. Usher Qureshi met one woman who is working to change stigma through pictures and the written word.
It's okay to admit that you are broken.
Confronting the fallout of trauma.
Dear black boy, it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel. It's okay to hurt.
Author Ebony Lewis is speaking directly to young black boys.
When you teach boys not to cry, you teach boys not to be vulnerable, it looks like that toughness. It looks like that anger. But in the dark, I'm sure there are so many young men that are letting it out.
Lewis started writing the picture book 3 years ago after her cousin took his own life. African Americans are 10% more likely to experience serious psychological distress, according to the Health and Human Services Office. And suicide is the second leading cause of death for black Americans ages 15 to 24.
Dear black boy, it's okay to cry.
Got it, Jonah? For Kwaku Amel Smith, a Milwaukee-based psychologist, reading the book with his twin 10-year-old boys, Jonah and Noah, was powerful.
The one thing that resonated with the both of them was the message that it was okay to be vulnerable, it was okay to show all of your emotions, and in fact, that was a very healthy thing.
Lewis says it's time to open a space to talk about pain before it's too late.
If we don't have the conversations, then you have men and women who grow up, who have these struggles, and they don't know how to release, and they don't know how to let it out. And then that's where you get, illness and suicide.
The book is already being used as a tool for violence prevention groups and adolescent therapists like Aisha Sanders.
It's been helpful because it lets them know it's going to be okay. It lets them know that people, they are understood.
Yeah, look at that smile.
The message, says the author, is universal, not just for young African American boys.
Everyone is affected. We all deal with mental health. No one is exempt.
Lessons Smith says even his 9-year-old daughter can benefit from.
When it's time for her to mother a young boy, she has that ability to know, hey, this is what we've been taught from the beginning. And as a parent, specifically a black male, you can still learn. It's never too late.
Never too late to learn and heal.
You can't fix the things you don't reveal. Your peace is your power, and your happiness is your weapon. Your tears are how you heal.
Reporting from Milwaukee, I'm Usher Qureshi.
Usher, thank you. Let's start the news feed. The American Medical Association calling for a ban on e-cigs and vaping. The group says it plans to lobby on the state and federal level. It points to the rise in underage teen use of e-cigs. Another fake coupon making the rounds on social media. This time it is Kohl's, and Kohl's says it's not real. The store's not running any promo for a free $100 coupon. The fake was on Facebook and also on a website called voucheronlineoffers.com. The produce section at Walmart set to look a little different. The store wants it to be more of an open market feel. Experts say that produce is key in Walmart's battle against Amazon. Black Friday could be the latest target for scammers. Experts say both retailers and customers should be on the lookout. The Better Business Bureau has several tips. First, if you just can't find that hot toy deal, beware of offers you receive for that product because that likely could be a scam. Also, if a password online doesn't work, reach out to the store or financial institution because your data may have been compromised. A new report says that cell phones could lead us to spend more money than we should. The research says the ease of being able to buy things quickly, like programs with Apple or Google Pay, well, that's contributing to the issue. There's also no fee on some programs, making it more appealing to make purchases. Next in our lineup, hosting Thanksgiving for your family and friends. It can be expensive, but there are ways to save starting today.
We're going to talk about how we do it for between $2 and $5 a person. And
yeah, we're getting